Hi! Today I would like to talk with you about two important questions that should be answered before you make the all-protein diet. Before you do it, you should think about two very important questions. First, am I prepared to stick to the basic rules of the all-protein diet? And second, why? Why do I want to make the all-protein diet? Let's have a look first to the first question. It is important to understand that there are basic rules when you want to make this diet. And without these basic rules, it is logically not an all-protein diet. The all-protein diet is a vegetarian diet, which completely avoids meat, sausages, and for example also eggs. In addition, you also have to avoid the so-called electron rubbers, many poisons for example, or the additional use of antioxidants. I do not go into details here about what you are allowed or not allowed to eat now, as this has been described in Dr. Budwig's books or in my book. Instead, I would like to talk with you about how important it is that you first make a decision for the all-protein diet. I often experience, mainly on the internet, in Yahoo or Facebook groups, endless discussions on how to adjust or modify the all-protein diet. But I must say, I do not understand those people. They would like to live healthier, or to put it better, much healthier, and maybe even want to make a complete nutritional therapy because they are ill, sometimes serious ill. On the other hand, they do not want to stick to the recommendations or regulations of Dr. Budwig. For me it makes no sense, and so I think if you want to make the all-protein diet, then you should first make a decision, and this decision means that you will stay on the basic rules of the all-protein diet. If, for example, you have aversions against milk, if you do not want to stop eating meat or eggs, if you do not like sauerkraut juice, or if you are not willing to buy organic food, I would like to ask you a question. Why? Why do you want to make the all-protein diet then? It must be clear to you that there is no all-protein diet without milk or without sauerkraut juice. So the first question that must be asked is, am I prepared to stick to these basic rules of the all-protein diet? The next question is also very important. Why? Why do I want to make the all-protein diet? Well, the three most common responses are prevention, performance enhancement, for example for sports persons, but mostly it is for cancer patients. This question is also very important, because if I want to make the all-protein diet, for example for prevention or for performance enhancement, then it is okay not to stay so strict to the regulations of the all-protein diet. But please do not misunderstand my words here. That does not mean that you do not have to stick to the basic rules I mentioned before. Even if you want to make the all-protein diet for prevention, you must logically stay to the basic rules. Otherwise, it will not help you, because it cannot function without milk, without sauerkraut juice, or if you eat eggs. And if you have cancer, then I would really recommend to you that you are doing the complete Budwig protocol, 100%. If you are not willing to do this, do not make the all-protein diet, please, because otherwise it will harm you, and in the worst case you even will lose your life. I'm sorry to say these hard words here, but over and over again I see that cancer patients make only part of the Budwig protocol and do not understand that the all-protein diet cannot function this way. The Budwig protocol does not only include a vegetarian diet and a bit of cottage cheese and flaxseed oil, but has a strict daily schedule which must be carried out completely. I know there is the problem that Dr. Budwig, for example, has often adapted this plan to the needs of the patients, so that it is sometimes confusing to read different Budwig protocols on the internet. Sometimes, for example, you can read a patient should drink alcohol, and sometimes not. Sometimes you can read a patient should drink 200 milliliters of sauerkraut juice, and sometimes significantly less. Sometimes you can read a patient should do twice a day the LD oil R, and sometimes not at all. Without doubt, this is for many a confusing thing and has unfortunately led to the fact that there are more wrong instructions than right instruction nowadays on the internet. But you have only one health, only one life. So if you want to make a nutritional therapy, it doesn't matter which one, you should invest time and energy to learn it properly. It is not enough to ask other laymen in Yahoo or Facebook how to do this or that. Honestly, come on. If the brakes on your car are broken, would you also ask in Facebook or Yahoo someone how to repair it? Please do not misunderstand. I'm myself active in many Facebook or Yahoo groups and find an exchange there very good and also important. Unfortunately, quite often in these groups, people do not know the correct basic rules and especially not the entire Budwig protocol. Even easy things, for example, how to make the Budwig muesli. I read so many wrong introductions here. Mainly because people do not know the original recipes or they think they can do it a bit differently. But unfortunately, this is like building a nearly perfect car, and at the end you use, instead of a 12-volt battery, a 6-volt battery. And so the whole car is not running. Then you have a 99% perfect car, but it does not work 100% at all. The same is valid for the oil protein diet. You can buy the best oil, the best quark and the best honey in the world, and if you do not know how to mix it properly and how important milk, for example, is for the mixture, then you have the absolutely right ingredients, but it just does not work. And what will be the result? You invest incredibly much time, money and energy, and above a lot of hope in something that doesn't work just because you have not taken the time to learn. No doubt, one can learn the oil protein diet in a very short time. For example, Dr. Budwig patients had nothing but the oil protein diet book, a double-sided guidance of Dr. Budwig, and an additional short explanation for the LD oils. But they had the great advantage of getting this instruction directly from Dr. Budwig and 100% correct, and not from internet pages. Let me summarize once again because it is so important. If you have made the first decision and you are willing to stick to the basic rules of the oil protein diet, then it is time to ask the question, why would you like to make the oil protein diet? And if this should be for prevention or to increase performance enhancement, then it is absolutely okay to stick to the basic rules, and if you do not make it perfectly, it will not harm you. If, however, you are part of the group of people who deal with the challenge of cancer, I would like to point out to you that you are buying the book Oil Protein Diet, find an original oil protein diet consultant, or go to our German Budwig Center. At least you must do the things 100% like it is written in the book. If you are not willing to do so for whatever reason, I strongly recommend you to do another nutritional therapy. Please do not make the mistake of believing you could change anything in the oil protein diet. Almost always, this means that the entire therapy is not working at all. And if you are looking for answers to so many questions in the oil protein diet, or for example for a guide for the LD oils and so on, then I would recommend you my book. I know it is always a bit strange to make advertising for its own book, but unfortunately there is no other English book describing the oil protein diet in detail. Altogether, this book, by the way, has over 340 pages, and the first half of the book explains the oil protein diet in detail, how you can see here. And the second half of the book is the original cookbook by Dr. Budwig, but with more than 400 color pictures. The oil protein diet is a genius nutritional therapy. It has proven over the last decades how good it is and has helped so many people. And because it is so important, I like to repeat myself here once again. Please, 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 invest some time and energy into learning the whole protein diet, and you will see very fast it's worth it. For today, I remain like always with Carpe Diem and see you soon again.